Good evening, everyone. This is Stephanie Searles. This is my week 7 discussion post, and today I'm going to be talking about tax avoidance to include 3 methods of tax avoidance as well as how they work in reducing taxpayer tax liability. Tax avoidance, according to the textbook, entails taking full advantage of the provisions of the tax code to reduce one's tax obligations. There are several tax avoidance methods, but the 3 I will focus on today include income shifting, tax postponement, as well as tax shelters. The first tax avoidance strategy that I'm going to talk about is income shifting. This is a tax planning technique that transfers income from high to low tax bracket taxpayers. Now, one can use income shifting to reduce the overall tax burden by moving income from, let's say, high to low, a high to low tax rate jurisdiction. For example, shifting income producing assets such as stocks, bonds, real estate, or perhaps even a share of business from parents to children. Given that income from a paycheck cannot be transferred, meaning that we can't simply just go ask our employers to shift a portion of our paycheck to our children as a way of reducing or avoiding our tax burdens, right? And then in the 1986 Tax Reform Act, they tried to limit such shifting by taxing those under age 14 at the marginal tax rate of the parent. Upper tax bracket family business owners may also decide to shift income from business earning distributions to lower tax bracket relatives by hiring these relatives to work for the business and then paying their salaries. The salaries are deductible as business expenses if reasonable, in amount, or are reasonable for, let's say, the work that's performed. Tax postponement acts under the principle of time value of money, which states the value of a dollar today is worth more than the value of a dollar in the future. With tax postponement, an individual or an organization considers, ways whenever possible to postpone their tax payments. This can be achieved through several ways. An example of achieving this would be to perhaps postpone the capital gains tax on the sale of an asset by adjusting the date in which the transfer of the asset takes place. One may also try to push as much December income as possible into perhaps, let's say, January. Another example is that, perhaps an individual is having a very successful year. Perhaps they want to pull their upcoming January expenses into the current year and prepay them that way. Tax shelters are investment schemes that can potentially reduce one's tax liabilities. They are legal and can range from investments or investment accounts that provide favorable tax treatment to activities or transactions that lower taxable income through deductions or credits. An example of this is employer-sponsored 401k retirement plans. The tax shelter provided through these accounts serves as an incentive to income earners to save for retirement. Income contributions made to a 401k or 403b or 457a and or b or an IRA plan would not be taxable until the individual retires. In terms of, these methods being used by people I know, the only method that I've seen used is the use of a tax shelter through the lens of investments or significant charitable donations. This particular person that I am acquainted with is self-employed and found multi-use in taking this approach, and that it brought their business closer to the community through the charity and then also subsequently reduced their taxable income. That concludes this week's presentation, and I just want to thank you all for being patient with me. If you can't tell, I'm definitely sick, but we made it through this together. So thank you, everyone. Take care and have a good night.